So our starting grid will look like this for the Enduro race here at Lucas Oil Speedway, all starting at 3 wide. Your front row, Alex Thomas, Kevin Snyder, and Trenton Parr. Snyder and Parr are both out of Flemington, Missouri. William Parr is also out of Flemington. He will start in 4th, starting inside row number 3. Jeremy Catrone and Bill Pulzine making up row number 3. Kevin Perkins, Butch Knox, and Will Tattershell. They will be back in row 3. Perkins to the inside, Knox in the middle, and Tattershell to the outside. Josh Stringer, Nicholas Fritsch, and Jack Wood back in 10th, 11th, and 12th. Zach Lescalt from Deepwater, Missouri. Scott Benedicts and Henry Whaley Jr. making up row number 5. A pair of Turpins, brother-sister, Kurt and Tara, starting inside row number 6. Dallas Butchie to their outside. And then it's Jet Herrick, Aaron Kofer, and Anthony Stark back in row number 7. Row 8 has Peyton Dingus, Dustin McNamara, and Jacob Walker. Row 9, Derek Wilson. He's a hot shoe. You're going to watch him work his way through the field. Then it's John Lampy, Tom Lampy, and Scott Lampy. John, Tom, and Scott. Back in 26th, 27th, and 28th. Jordan Goddard and Wayne Russell round out row number 10. Andrew Pavlovich will start inside row number 11. George Turpin and Michael Gillis also in that row. Michael Grossbeck, Harold Hawk, and Shane Headley back in row number 12. And rounding out row number 13, it's Tyler McCoy, Troy Mitchell, and Blake Davidson. No qualifying. You start how you registered for this event. So about the first 22 or so cars had all pre-registered. They were 1 through 22, and then from then on, it's just however they showed up today, and we started out the day with 22, finished with 39. So 13 rows, 3 wide. Again, once we get everybody knowing that the transponders are all working, they'll come back around. We'll start from a standstill, and that's whenever we're going to welcome in Mike Striegel. He's typically the flagman. This year, he's going to take care of some duties interviewing down at Victory Lane. But also, we're going to bring him in throughout the racing action, especially today, because there's going to be a lot of downtime for Mike Striegel. We're going to make sure he earns his paycheck tonight, because in all reality, he could only throw 3 flags. But we're going to make sure that he does a little extra work on that. So, Mike, since you're down there just kind of standing around, we're going to go ahead and say, hey, grab the mic. We're going to talk to you real quick. So, Mike, what do you think about this whole Enduro thing? 3rd year we've done this, and they put on some pretty good shows. You kind of get a night off on this, right?
Not usually, because, all of us real race fans among us out here are out here in the cold weather, enjoying it, waiting around for the Enduro. You, on the other hand, are up there in about a 75, maybe 80-degree suite.
I just checked at 73.
Okay, 73. So you're the one with a night off here. But everybody's going to have a favorite on this race. So we've got good fans. But I've just got one question to ask. Who thinks I Love Hot Moms is going to win? I mean, they deserve it. I'm pulling for the pole car. That's my pick. What's your pick?
You can't go wrong with that. So, I'm going to say that also. So now, here is where you get to go to work. We've already brought the cars around. They are in the Pitts Realty start zone. We're going to let you call the start of this race. Take it away.
Okay, we're going to go. We're going to count it down. Everybody, go get your popcorn, get your hot dog, get you a Coke, get you a cold beer, get ready to go. Because whenever we count down from 3, we're going to go racing. 3, 2, 1. Let's go racing!
Quite possibly.
Here we come. They're coming down the front stretch. They're 5 wide. They're 5 wide coming down the front stretch. They're everywhere. They're inside. They're outside. They're on the pole. They're on the top. They're on the tires. Here we go. 150 laps.
Boy, I already may have made a mistake by letting Mike Striegel on the call. But we are underway. And again, 150 straight laps. And we've already got a car nose into the wall. We've got one backed into the wall over in turn number 4. They will both get straightened out. And the first of 150 laps is officially in the books. Your pole sitter, the I Love Hot Moms of Alex Thomas, didn't stay on the front long, as he is already back through the field. He's lost a handful of spots, and now 2 cars nose to nose, already crumpled up over in turn number 3 and 4, and a lot of fluid dumped out on the track. That's a mess. These cars in this area, a number of tracks do an enduro type of race. There are also some figure 8 racings. There are some demo derbies. And one car, I don't think the 15 is going to make it all that long with all of that smoke and steam coming out of the front. That is the 15 machine of Kurt Turpin, the younger brother of the Turpins out of Eldon, Missouri. Raced a Mazda last year. He's in a Ford this year, so we'll see how long that Ford can go running in hot conditions like that. Saw a peek of a car over on the top side of turn number 4 that has already called his night done. Wonder if that's also just some tire smoke. There's another car backwards. Will Tattershell is your early leader. He's in the 81 out of Bodark. That's a 2000 Taurus that he has. Ran some cruisers earlier on, and there's the car that's already done for the evening, the 77J of Wayne Russell. Six laps of 150 have already been notched up. Bill Polzine out of Crichton, Missouri in the 11A. Got a quick peek at him there. Had a second place finish a year ago, and he's been racing for about 25 years or so. With an enduro, just like anything else that lasts long, you got to conserve your tires. There have been a lot with our 3 races that we had prior to this event. A lot of rubber has already been put down on the track. So these tires could be eaten up. Whenever we've seen this in years past, and again, this is the 3rd year that we've done this, cars will get flats, run on rims. Some actually go into the pits and change a tire and come back out. So there is some gamesmanship. There is some strategy. And you see the spin from Tom Lampe in the 2T over in turn 4. He's going to have to jump the berm and get back underway. Your pole sitter in the 69. That is Alex Thomas out of Max Creek. He had the good old boy grocery getter a couple of years ago. Had a Crown Vic. Sponsored by the Pawn Shop and A1 Thomas Automotive. His mom was a passenger whenever he drove here last year, Karen. She owns the Pawn Shop in Camdenton. And in the 2 previous Enduros, Alex finished 14th and 9th. A change for Lucas Oil Speedway this year, and this will be a good test. We have all brand new dirt. Over 450 dump trucks were brought in. Kenny Carroll Excavating came in, and it took about a week and a half. This is a clay substance that they actually get on the grounds here at Lucas Oil Speedway. What they had down had been here for quite some time. It had, believe it or not, yes, it can get worn out. It can get used up after it's worked over so many times. So they took all of the old dirt up, put all brand new dirt down, and it will really be tested. From talking with some of the drivers and hearing from them, they all seem to like this new track surface. and it will get used and abused. When we had this event the very first year, it got eaten up in a big way. Pass for position there as Alex Thomas will lose another spot. Dallas Butchie has taken over P1 in the 55. That's Alex Thomas to his outside of the 55. Dallas Butchie out of Neodesha, Kansas. Ran a tuner at Caney last year. Ran a street stock at Thunder Hill for the last part of the 1990s and earlier part of 2000s. See all types of different cars out for this event. You'll have Crown Vics. There's quite a few Crown Vics that have come out for here. And we've had drivers that have gone out just to a junkyard, pulled a car out, and within a couple of weeks, they are out on the track. And we have a new leader, Scott Benedicts, in the 279 has jumped up to the top of the pylon. And that's the best run he's had in Enduro here. Is last year he finished 27th. He finished 30th the year before that. So many late entries, and there you see the carcass of a tire has already come off as it rolls down the front straightaway. There is your race leader in Scott Benedicts. Jet Herrick now running in second in the number 12. There's that tire. You saw it right in the middle of the track, and they're not going to throw a debris caution in this. It's up to them to have to try to avoid. And some issues now for Scott Benedicts. Not sure what's going on with the 279, but that's going to open the door for Jet Herrick. Jet Herrick now to P1. I believe that is now 4 lead changes. 20 laps into our 150-lap main event. Contact and a spin right in front of your leaders. Doing the whirly whirl. That's the 3 of Kevin Snyder. Kevin Snyder started on the inside of row number 1 and now a big hit over in turn number 4. Carnage all over the place. And big hit there, and more cars go piling in. You got to think right now there is just oil like crazy over in turns 3 and 4 because all of these cars have gotten into what is very dark on the track and gone up, and it is a salvage yard, parking lot, whatever you want to call it, in turns 3 and 4, and they just continue to push their way through, and I think that's the car that has brought out most of the oil. That would be the 33 of Michael Gillis. He is connected with the 01, I believe that is Trenton Parr. This could be quite messy if that is indeed all oil that's coming out of that car. And I'm not sure which car is dumping the oil. I think it's the 01. And the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew here at Lucas Oil Speedway may have lost their job as Michael Gillis is doing a fantastic job of pushing a car back to the pit area. We are 25, or approaching 25 laps. There it is. here at our Easter Bowl Enduro from Lucas Oil Speedway. We've seen a little bit of everything, lead changes, wrecks, carnage galore, and we've just begun. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout, and come back right after this, as this is Night of Speed here from Lucas Oil Speedway. Lucas Oil Night of Speed presented by E3 Spark Plugs from Lucas Oil Speedway. It is the Easter Bowl Enduro 150 from Wheatland, Missouri. We say it's Night of Speed. Kind of slow going, but there's your new race leader, Derek Wilson, in the 317. Is now your current race leader. And it's an ice rink out on that track right now. Lots of oil over in turns 3 and 4. It's gone all the way down the front stretch and to the exit of turn number 2. And Derek Wilson right now is just trying to avoid the melee. He's a 2-time winner already this year. He's won at Springfield. He's won at 81 Speedway. And now he is extremely slow. It looks as though he has a flat right front. So your race leader is headed back to the pit. 317 is off the pace. And that will move Kevin Perkins, if we can find the 3P out there somewhere. And there's Mike Striegel's favorite car, the I Love Hot Moms of Alex Thomas. That's Kevin Snyder. Perkins there in that silver 3 with that very famous Dale Earnhardt style font. And now a red flag has come out as a driver is getting out of his car. That's a no-no. Drivers are instructed to stay in their car, do not get out. So a big no-no there brings us down to a red. And now we're going to see something pretty unique. Once the red comes out, all of the cars stop exactly where they're at. Then when and if a driver is in peril, they make sure he's taken care of, and the Hobby Time Motorsports Safety Crew is doing that. They are taking that driver back to the pit area. His car is not going to go anywhere, I don't think. As we look around the track to see if anybody is going to be pushed off, and this is the example. The 77J has been there since lap number 2, and we are 29 laps in. He has stayed right where he's supposed to be. And there is the vacant car. That is the 203 of George Turpin out of Lake Ozark, Missouri. Well, let me rephrase that. That's George Turpin's car. That's not George Turpin. Shane Headley in the 44. He's out of Buffalo, Missouri. He also runs a Midwest mod. A couple of top 10s as they get that car taken care of. You also see Jack Wood. He's in that K4 ride. Jack's out of Eldon, Missouri. Best finish he had last year was a 6th in a pure stock. So they'll get the 203 taken care of. Another couple of other drivers apparently are now out of their cars as well. So as they get that car taken care of, Mike Striegel's had a good view of this, and he's going to get ready to get that green flag back in hand. Outlaw 29 laps down. This is where it gets fun. Everybody's at a dead standstill until you say they can go.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to go green, white, checkered here. They've been a pretty class act, but I'm not sure. I'm thinking what's on the mind on the backstretch. If everybody looks on the backstretch, there's an old Dale Earnhardt number 3 over there. That's the owner of T&T Quick Shop. He's a suite holder here at the Lucas Oil Speedway, and looks like on the board he's sitting in second place. So let's see what he's got. See if he catches this 69 car or not. So he's looking at that board thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in third. No, wait, I'm second.
Well, Striegs, we're ready when you're ready. Oh, we got another safety vehicle out there, so not quite ready yet. So apparently the 69 is showing on the pylon as first. So indeed a change with the leader, and now Alex Thomas, who started on the pole, he now leads Kevin Perkins in the 3P, and the green flag is in the air. We're back at it. '69 of Alex Thomas. There's your battle for first and second now, with Kevin Perkins and Alex Thomas. The 11 is up in there as well. Bill Polzine in a spin right in front of all your lead cars. And Perkins got squirrely. He's out of the groove. That opens the door for Alex Thomas. Alex Thomas got around Polzin for the lead. Now Polzin gets it back. And Anthony Stark is in the 00X. The only race he had last year was in this Enduro. And now he will take a little vengeance as he spins out the 11 of Polzin. New leader now as Polzin got wiped out, and there's the 69 of Alex Thomas. Kind of ironic that Alex Thomas has I Love Hot Moms on the side of his car, and who was his co-pilot last year? His mom. Move to the inside. New contender moving to the top of the pylon, and that is Jacob Walker in the 7. Looks to the inside of Alex Thomas. Battle for the lead. Walker ran one race last year, first race this year. Thomas had him at the line. Can Jacob Walker complete the pass? How about Kevin Perkins now in the 3? Alex Thomas able to hang on to the lead for now, but the cars running second and third are both in the picture frame. 40 laps completed. Pass for the lead, and it will go to the 7 of Jacob Walker. We now welcome in Doug Neff, who's been busy tonight. We're about ready to go to a break, but what are your thoughts so far in the first 40 laps we've seen?
Man, it has been what we expected. You never know what to expect when these Enduros come out. They are incredible fun to watch. We had a few of them that had to be hauled off, but all in all, great track and smooth racing.
And Jacob Walker grabs the lead 41 laps in, and he is starting to pull away from both Kevin Perkins and Alex Thomas. New leader on the track. We'll see if he's still the leader when we come back, completing 42 of 150 laps. It is Night of Speed, Easter Bowl Enduro 150, presented by E3 Spark Plugs from Wheatland, Missouri. Lucas Oil Night of Speed presented by E3 Spark Plugs, coming to you from the Diamond of Dirt Tracks, Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. It's Easter Bowl Enduro 150, and we are 45 laps in to the 150. And your race leader is the 7 of Jacob Walker. He is out of Paola, Kansas. Again, only one race last year. His first race of the season this year. He got around Alex Thomas. And now Kevin Perkins is using a couple of cars as a screen, and Perkins back to the top spot. New leader is the 3P. Kevin's out of Sedalia, Missouri. Superior Auto Service, Performance Automotive, Ewing Farms, the sponsor on that 2002 Grand Am. Some cars are having transponder issues and they're not showing up. I think all of the cars that have been damaged on the front, that's usually where the transponder goes. That's probably why they're not showing up on timing and scoring. So Kevin Perkins, Jacob Walker, and Alex Thomas, your top three. Bill Polzine, Nick Fritsch, Aaron Kofer, Jack Wood, and Will Tattershell. Going on down the line. Almost a third of the way through.
Kevin Perkins starting in that 7th spot from Sedalia, Missouri. Great job so far as he has moved himself up and through. Incredible runs up front, Shane, on these races. We're about a third of the way through.
Yep, 2.5 second deficit now for Jacob Walker over Kevin Perkins. There is your race leader. A whole lot of great cars out there.
Now, I don't know if there's an advantage to a smaller kind of compact car on these or if it's a bigger car that would take a little more damage.
You know, I think we had this discussion last year, too, and I don't think it matters. There's Jacob Walker running in second. Got a little puff of smoke coming out. Boy, over there in 3 and 4 where he just got through, that is what caused all of us up here to laugh a little bit as oil got dumped out, and it was literally a chain reaction straight up the track. About 4 or 5 cars went. Looked like a scene from the Blues Brothers, how they just kept piling one police car right after another on top of one another.
You know, Richard's got to be going, no, not on my track. No.
Yeah, not on my brand new track.
He said he cut 8 inches off the top of this track and brought 8 inches back in.
Oh, little flash fire underneath the 7.
Under the 7.
Lots of flames there underneath the car that's running in second, and I think he knows it.
Yeah.
And he is off the track. So the car that was running in second, Jacob Walker, has now exited stage right. That gives the lead back to Kevin Perkins. Actually, he didn't lose it. He still has it. But that's going to move Alex Thomas up to second whenever the next scoring loop comes around. And Bill Polzine will move up to third.
Polzine right down the road. Great former late model driver from his area. David Turner used to race with MLRA and has been here before. Polzine probably taken a few lessons from David.
Well, with one of the cars already off the track, Kevin Perkins still your leader, and lots of action, Mike, going on over there in turns 3 and 4.
There is a lot of action. It seems that they keep putting water down, and everybody keeps knocking down the turn 3 or 4 wall. So they're going to come through there and get going. Where this 12 car needs to get moving along because they're coming in hot.
Mike Striegel up on the flag stand.
We lost the second place car just a minute ago, caught fire, the number 7, he pulled off the racetrack. So we got this number 3 still leading. And Hot Mom's running a hot second place.
You know, Mike, you've been in just about everything, a B-mod, a modified. Is this something you'd have fun doing for 150 laps?
Absolutely, I'm all for it. We used to run a class back in the day at Monett Speedway called the Cruiser class, and it was kind of sort of these along the lines. You had a throttle jockey and a steering wheel guy, so I've never done 150 laps, but this Kevin from TNT that's out here in this 3 car I was talking about, he offered me a ride if I could have put a seat in that car. And I probably should have did it because, man, he is not doing very good. I could have maybe given him some pointers.
So in those cruiser classes, you got somebody steering, you got somebody working the pedals. Which one would you want to do?
Well, I done a little bit of both, but I enjoy running the gas pedal and watching my buddy work on that wheel, really. That was funner than driving one.
Well, Kevin Perkins has his hands full with that wheel. Mike, we'll let you get back to work. We may check in with you here in a little while.
Okay, let's just keep it green, keep it clean, and let's keep tearing them cars up.
You know what? I don't think there's anything clean on the track right now, Doug. I really don't.
No, absolutely. You can see the tracks in some of the areas where it's taken on moisture of one kind or another. So as you go around, but man, I'll tell you, it is going to be a little bit of a fest to grab a few cars after this thing is over too.
Well, Kevin Perkins now, after Alex Thomas had led so many laps, and we had lead change after lead change, now Alex Thomas is kind of settled back in second right now. Timing and scoring has him 10 seconds off the pace, and you wonder if part of this is just, I'm only halfway through. Let me cool. Well, we're not even halfway through yet. We're about 10 laps away from the midway point. You wonder if Alex Thomas is just losing something or if he is saying, okay, let's just calm down, save our tires a little bit, stay out of trouble, and live to fight another day.
Well, the other thing is, too, the harder you try to race right now, the more fuel you're going to burn, too. So that's one of the things you've got to keep in mind. You want to try to do this and not take a whole lot of pit stops.
And by my calculations, there are only 8 cars that are on the lead lap. Well, we might not even have that now. We may be down to only 4 or 5 cars that are on the lead lap. And we talked about this last year as the 3 of Kevin Snyder. We see right rear smoke coming out of that ride. Yeah, and I'm right there with you. I'm adding up the laps, too. I think we're down to 3 cars now that are on the lead lap. Perkins, Thomas, and Polzine. We'll wait for the next scoring cycle to go through.
Maybe just 2. Polzine just
Yep, so just 3, and that's about ready to become 2 as Perkins has caught up with Polzine, and there's your right rear flash fire underneath the 3 of Kevin Snyder. I wonder if he thinks it, well, he probably can't see that fire, can't smell it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's brakes.
It's not good, whatever
No,
it
either
is.
way.
But we had this discussion last year where the car leading almost lapped the entire field. And the car running in second, we were wondering if they were waiting for the lead lap car to come around to intentionally or unintentionally take him out. And now they have told Kevin Snyder to make his way to the infield. Hobby Time Motorsport Safety Crew, they're still really close to the track, but they are going to try to take care of that fire on the right rear.
Yeah, they're going to blow that out, and it's in a bad spot because, like you said, you don't know it where it's at back there. So he could be going around for a long time if they hadn't got him stopped.
Okay, so Kevin Perkins, your race leader, and we will try to see how much further they're going to have to go before they would catch up with Alex Thomas. And it's going to be a little while. There's still a pretty good gap. Over half a lap between first and second. So there's the car running in second and Alex Thomas.
Now, he's easy to find.
Yes, yeah. Mike Striegel pointed that out. It's not quite half a lap that the advantage is for Perkins over Kevin Thomas. But they right now are the only 2 cars that are on the lead lap. Perkins has already put Polzine a lap down.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're down to 2 cars on the lead lap.
And the difference between first and second is down to 7.2 seconds. And they're running right now, the 2 lead cars are running 24-second lap times. So I don't think we're going to get into a position to where we might have everybody put a lap down except your lead car.
Yeah, it looks like one just crashed out over in turn 2, having big difficulties trying to get around there.
So Kevin Perkins, that 2002 Grand Am, is motoring. The double Aught X is not. Anthony Stark is finally back out on the track. This is his first race in 2 years for Anthony Stark. Another car parks it on the infield. That is William Parr out of Flemington, Missouri. So cars dropping by the wayside. 4 laps away from the midway point.
Yeah, as they get ready to count down, so then you have to look at strategy. Again, what we were talking about was the thought that Perkins is either trying to save fuel or trying to save tires, one or the other. He knows he doesn't have to push it extremely hard right now with Thomas still back far, but he also isn't for sure how far he is back, I'm sure.
Well, he can look up at the pylon and see a pretty big gap because up on the pylon's the big Jumbotron. And we talk to drivers all the time that they say they look up there when they're going down the backstretch to see who is behind them and how far. And right now he got a good look to see that Alex Thomas was a full straightaway behind. Alex Thomas has the co-pilot. Wonder if that's his mom again. I didn't have a chance to talk to him before the race. Might be his mom riding shotgun. And the 69 of Alex Thomas has a lot of catching up to do. We have reached the midway point. Kevin Perkins completes lap number 75 as he comes off of turn number 4 right now. We are halfway, and we're going to step aside the second half of the Easter Bowl Enduro 150 from Lucas Oil Speedway. We'll see the rest of it when we come back. It's Lucas Oil Night of Speed, Night of Carnage, Night of Mayhem, presented by E3 Spark Plugs. Back after this. Let's do it. Picture from over in turn 3 here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks on Lucas Oil Night of Speed, presented by E3 Spark Plugs. I'm Shane Freeby, Doug Neff alongside Mike Striegel. We've heard from him a couple of times down on the flag stand. We'll hear from him at night's end. And there you see Kevin Perkins. He's your current race leader. Only 2 cars are currently on the lead lap. He is one. Alex Thomas is the other one. There you see the 69 of Thomas. I'm kind of curious, up in front of him, a car is dragging something. I see it along the racing surface, but I can't tell exactly what it is that is being dragged. See it right there? I don't know what that is. I'm just kind of curious as to what is a line, a wire that is that long that is coming off of that rig.
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a brake line.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking hopefully it's not a cord out of a tire.
There is no but that I noticed that probably about 15 laps ago. I've got no clue what they're dragging.
Well, you know, they always talk about if you run the inside of that, you're going catfishing. Maybe he's looking.
He's trolling.
He's got a line down.
Oh, man, more trouble for the double odd of Anthony Stark again. He's sideways, but he's back at it.
You know, what a way to kick off the 2024 season right here as Lucas Oil Speedway with an incredible Easter Bowl 150 Enduro.
When we started this 2 years ago, this is the 3rd annual event. We had 37 cars. Last year, down just a little bit, had 28, have 39 now. Oh, boy, I hope Alex Thomas doesn't get wrapped up in whatever's being drugged from the car behind him. That'd be bad news. Did he hit it?
Well,
oh, he's about to. It's underneath him now. He ran over it. I don't see it anymore. So now maybe it's underneath Alex Thomas's car.
Yeah, he may have pulled it off. It's on the track somewhere.
Yep, it's gone now. So now we don't have to wonder anymore. So we now have the highest car count in 3 years for our Enduro. Ended up being 39. And again, they do these in quite a few places across the Midwest. Springfield had one earlier on this year. Electric City has had one. Monette has quite a few of them. Now, the Enduros that they do are 50-lap Enduros, and your lead car, Kevin Perkins, may have some issues of flat right front, it looks like.
Maybe he ran over that cable.
Well, Alex Thomas, who was running in second right now as your race leader, Kevin Perkins is off the track. And Alex Thomas almost came to a dead standstill over in turn 2. He keeps going. He's going to be your new race leader. The car running in second right now is Derek Wilson. So now officially, everybody is going to be a lap down beside your race leader and Kevin Perkins. Or, excuse me, Alex Thomas.
And that's why you continue to run, because you never know when these guys, something may happen, and he may come back out here shortly. We'll find out.
There's tires all over the place. Yeah. There's another one. Now we're going to check timing and scoring again.
Yeah, we have turn 3.
Yeah, we have a carcass at the end of the front stretch. We've got another one over in turn 3. And now Alex Thomas is your new race leader. Alex finished 9th last year, 14th the year before that.
He started on the pole.
Yep, sure did. He was the one that got his registration in earlier than anybody else.
Uh-oh. Got one here on the front straightaway that's really off the pace.
That's the car that was dragging something in Dallas Butchie.
Well, it looks like he's trying to get off the track. Now he finally makes it.
So this would be the first event of the year for Alex Thomas. There are a couple of Alex Thomases in my race pass, so I'm trying to use a culmination or a joining of all of them to see exactly what he did. Now, I do know that Alex whenever he was here last year, did have his mom in the cockpit. I'm assuming it's the same Alex
I
Thomas.
would say you're right. Max Creek, Missouri is where he calls home.
Well, one of them says Max Creek, the other one says Camdenton, and those two places are pretty darn
Pretty close, yeah. Maybe mom's from one and he's from the other.
Splits time.
There you go.
Camdenton's his summer home because it's on the lake.
Oh.
Contact there with your race leader. For those of you that are watching this across the nation on MAV TV, Camdenton is the area where Ozark was filmed from Netflix. With Justin Bateman playing Marty Bird. That's just down the road, only about a 45-minute drive or so from here.
Hopefully he's going to be able to put that back on a trailer and take it home.
Mentioned in the pre-race that this is the longest event that we have all year long, 150 laps. The only thing that comes close to it, the Show Me 100. Lucas Oil late models come in, run 100 times around, capping off a 3-day event.
Goes a little faster, too.
Most of the time, yes.
Well, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, there was one year where it was pushing. We've seen both ends of the spectrum of that. We've had a Show Me 100 that lasted almost a year. We had a Show Me 100 that went pretty much green, white, checkered, and only took about half an hour.
Yeah.
So.
It's as in, but like I said, this is just
oh
my goodness.
Up on the front stretch, didn't quite go completely airborne.
It's close.
It was pretty darn close. Anthony Stark, but he stays under power and back at it.
I believe that would have been a 9.5 from the American judge. Yeah, right there where Mike could see it.
Yeah. Mike Striegel was on the flag stand, and you got a good view of the 00 of Anthony Stark just about taking airborne.
Yeah, I've been watching him lap after lap, and he's spun out and spun out. I mean, there ain't no quitting that cat right there. And I'm like, red, nope, no red, red, no red, red, nope, oh, nope, green, green, green. I'm like, that was awesome. That was bird's eye view.
Well, he got an up-close and personal look at it as we are now 96 laps in of our 150-lap Enduro.
The question is, can he make 50 more laps without staying off the top?
That is a very good question. He spun it around a couple of times and almost ended up on his lid, but he is still underpowered, and we're going to go ahead and step aside as he says, enough of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe he's got a flat tire in that front.
He heads back to the pit, and we're going to head to a commercial break and come back right after this. We'll be right at the 100-lap mark when we come back to Lucas Oil Night of Speed, presented by E3 Spark Plugs. That is not mist on the water you see on your screen. That is smoke coming up from tires, from engine, from coolant, you name it.
Yeah,
there's one of them.
There's one of them.
That we have a lot of smoke coming out of. That's the 1T of Tara Turpin in a little Chevy Malibu that she's driving around. This is her first time racing with her younger brother, Kurt. We mentioned that. And she has a co-pilot in there. That is his sister's girlfriend, Tara Scherf. This is her first time in a car. Gotta love bringing the family out and riding shotgun. Tara's raced in powder puff races at Capitol Speedway and Double X before. She's also driven in a demolition derby at Capitol. She does a really unique event that's going to be July 7th at Double X Speedway. She does it in honor of her daughter, Riley. It's called Race for Riley. And they use it to collect bikes. We do that during 4th of July. We collect bikes, give it to kids, and Tara does that in honor of her daughter, Riley. Racer Riley coming up at Double X on July 7th.
Yeah, Kevin's all about collecting bikes all year long until we get to that July 4th show. And then, man, I mean, there's never enough. Only problem is there's never enough bikes for all the kids.
Yep.
There seems to be more smoke coming out of the bottom of that.
Not smoke on the water, smoke on the dirt.
That's
here at
right,
Lucas
yeah.
Oil Speedway. Alex Thomas still leads.
Derek Wilson in that second spot. Looking to see two on the lead lap.
And I'm thinking, just from timing and scoring from what I'm seeing, Doug, tell me if I'm wrong, but we've got another couple of cars back on the lead lap. So I'm wondering if Alex Thomas, something happened to him that we just missed. But now Thomas, Derek Wilson, and Will Tattershell are all on the lead lap, and it looks as though we've got a fight for the lead. The 317 of Derek Wilson to the inside. That's for the lead, and there is a change on the top of the pylon. Derek Wilson has moved to the top spot.
Again, you never know what's going to happen to the leaders. That's why you just keep continuing to roll through lap after lap after lap.
Don't know if Alex Thomas, if something happened to him. If it did, we didn't see it. Or if he has just had something go wrong on his car. But Derek Wilson on the season this year, it's been pretty remarkable. He is 2 for 2. He won at Springfield on February 24th. He won the Enduro at 81 Speedway back on March 16th. So can this be 3 straight for Derek Wilson?
You know, we were talking earlier about he ran over something that was being dragged by one of those other cars. Maybe it did some damage underneath, and we didn't see it.
So now Derek Wilson to the top spot. Alex Thomas is still back in second. Will Tattershell was a long way away from Alex Thomas. So it's going to be a little bit before we see that cycle back through. So 3 cars now on the lead lap. Bill Polzine will be a lap down, and Kevin Perkins is one. He and Blake Davidson are now 4 laps down.
So as they roll through, continue to go, it is still going to be Wilson. Wilson now with the lead coming around. Lap 110 getting ready to go in the books. So 40 more will finish it off.
And despite having 2 reds, and I think the first year I don't think we had a red. I know we had one the year before. We're still on pretty remarkable time here. We've only gone 48 minutes. And we're 110 laps into a 150-lap Enduro.
One thing about it, after the Enduro race, Richard's track ought to be definitely cured in.
It's packed down, I promise you that.
Of course, next week right here, MLRA, 2 nights, great late model show getting ready to come your way.
And we had a great view of it right there, all of the actual lines in the track. And when we talk about lines, we talk about rubber being laid down, grooves, if you will. Sometimes we talk about ruts, but we'll get a good picture of it. See all those just thin lines that are on the track? That's where all of those flat tires have led to rims digging in. So those are gouges, if you will. A ton of them right there. See all those marks? That's where tires have come up, and that's where Richard maybe, oh boy, it's tearing my track up.
Richard's over there taking notes as we're talking about some gouges and see what he can fix.
And not only just the tires that are out there, got to think about all of the bolts and scrap and everything that's embedded into this track right now from all of these cars that have just been torn up and are just dropping pieces left and right. There's probably a piston in there somewhere.
That's why they're smoking so bad. Yeah, absolutely. And, well, as you go through, I think you walk the track and they try to find those pieces and so forth. Not a normal thing that they have to do. After these, of course, a little bit different. But see what they can find and then try to roll that track back in.
Just saw another tire roll down the track, so another one has come off. So Alex Thomas, after having the lead, dropping it to Derek Wilson around 6 laps or so ago, has now fallen off the pace by almost 4 seconds.
Wilson rolling around. Thomas in that second spot, but nowhere near your leader right now. .115, so that means we're about 35 laps from completion.
You know, Derek Wilson, again, he is 2 for 2 on the season here. He ran in 22 events last year, picked up 1 win. His win was at Caney on July 15th. But you look at everything else that he did. He ran some Enduros. He ran a factory stock race. Most of what he did was in an Enduro. And Alex Thomas, again, see how much he has fallen off the pace. He's really hovering right around that 3 or 4 second mark. He's not all that far off the pace, 3.7 seconds now. And then it's another 10 seconds back to Will Tattershell. So still only 3 cars are on the lead lap.
That one car continues to smoke, but continues to roll down around the track.
I guess if you're wanting to get into this for fun more than anything else and not spend an arm and a leg trying to get into a race car, you're really honestly, you're limited on options now. Used to, they would say that as far as modifieds go, a B mod is the way to do it. Well, now they're getting almost as expensive as a modified. Midwest mods are kind of in that range, but not really.
Midwest or an E-mod, either one.
You've got factory stocks, you've got pure stocks, but you know, that's one of the reasons why Lucas Oil went away from the super stock and went to the stock car, was because of cost. Then stock cars are now right back up there with high cost. This is, you know, cost efficiency, about one of the best ways to do it.
Well, the nice thing is with this, you can get the whole family involved. You can put in 2 seats in there and have a passenger, put mom or dad or sister or whoever you want in that side seat with you as they roll around, and get the whole family involved. If you want to put together 2 or 3 different cars and bring everybody out, you can do that.
Well, it seems like just about every time we go to break, we get a lead change right when we come back. We'll see if we can keep that streak rolling. We are 121 laps in. Right now, Derek Wilson leads by almost 5 seconds. Will he be leading when we come back to Lucas Oil Night of Speed? You're watching it from the Easter Bowl Enduro 150 at Lucas Oil Speedway. Back after this on MAV TV. Approaching lap 125. That leaves 25 laps remaining in just a moment from here at the Lucas Oil Easter Bowl Enduro 150 on Lucas Oil Night of Speed. And after a tough break by Kevin Perkins having to exit the track, he is now back on, but he is 5 laps down. Derek Wilson's your race leader. He leads Alex Thomas and Will Tattershell. Currently, those are the only 2 cars that are also on the lead lap with Derek Wilson. Bill Polzine is down 1 lap. Then it's Blake Davidson, Jet Herrick, and Kevin Perkins, all laps down after that.
Wilson with about a straightaway lead over Thomas in that second spot. Oh, and she's finally going to give it up. She's taking it to the infield on that 1 car.
Yeah, she had been smoking for quite some time and finally decided that she had given her passenger or her brother's girlfriend a good enough joyride around this 3/8 mile oval, finally decided it to call it a night. Alex Thomas running in second.
Oh, almost got hit.
Alex is slowing down. He is now starting to get passed by cars that are laps down. Then there's the 81 WT of Will Tattershell. He was early signing up. He was 9th in the sign-up procedure, so he started outside row number 3, and now he has caught up with Alex Thomas, and that's a pass for second.
Got around, shot the gap, and looking for that 31 car, 317, coming up. But I think he's a long ways away, Shane.
Will Tattershell, back whenever we talked with him last year, was a passenger whenever Haley drove this car, finished 9th. Then whenever he took over in the 23 Enduro here, he finished 11th with Haley as the passenger. And I'm trying to see, doesn't look like he has a passenger today.
Nobody with him.
That's 115 pounds of weight that he doesn't have to mess with now if you don't have a passenger. So if you think about it, it makes all the sense in the world to not have a passenger. It doesn't weigh you down. If your mom's in the passenger seat, you don't have to listen to her complain about how bad you're driving.
Turn left up there.
Yep. If she starts telling you to turn right, you know you got a problem.
Yeah, as they roll through, we are getting close. We're under 20 laps away now to the end of this. And like I said, what a great way to kick off the 2024 season right here.
So Alex Thomas, whenever we last were talking about lap times, was around 4 seconds behind Derek Wilson. Now Will Tattershell is 6.5 seconds behind Derek Wilson. There's Alex Thomas again running in third. And believe it or not, a lot can happen in the span of 17 laps.
There's your leader right there.
That's down the backstretch now in 3 and 4. And this will complete lap 134. How much does this just have to be miserable for a car over in turn 4, and I can't remember who it was now, that wrecked on lap 1 or 2 and has pretty much had to sit there for an hour.
You got to be thinking, let me try to start it one more time. Just one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And, you know, whenever they had that 5-car pile up and they were all lined up, one of the cars decided to push the other one back to the pit. He's like, why couldn't they have pushed me? I could have already been home by now.
Almost in front of that leader. That white car just about came out of, he was on that bottom half and almost came up, almost took out our leader.
Look back to Alex Thomas. He has pretty much set anchor, being passed left and right now, so a good early portion to the run. He had led the opening laps, and he was not in our timing and scoring loop originally. So we, Alex, want to send our apologies to you that you were leading early and we just couldn't tell. But now it is Derek Wilson out in front. Only 3 cars on the lead lap. And Will Tattershell, Doug, he's catching up with him. He cut off 2 seconds in just the last few laps. It was over a 6-second differential. Now it's 4.5 seconds.
Still got 12 laps to finish before the end of this race, so there may be some time if Tattershell can get up and get into there. You may see a lead change at the very end.
It is a straightaway advantage for Derek Wilson. And now I kind of see where that deficit came in as
Thomas goes off.
Yep, Alex Thomas. He has exited the racetrack, so now only 2 cars are on the lead lap. Derek Wilson was having to get through lap traffic. There were about 5 or 6 cars that he had to get through. I count 1, 2, 3. Now there's 3 cars, in between he and Will Tattershell. But for Derek Wilson now, he has an entire straightaway in front of him of no lap traffic. It's pretty much smooth sailing now as you see the second place car of Tattershell coming into the picture.
Tattershell, though, making his way through traffic fairly well as he is catching it just about right on straightaways and corners where he can make passes.
But he is running out of laps. Only 10 laps remain as we watch the scroll come across. Russell's 138 laps down. 140. Thomas is 104. That's not the correct Thomas. Different Thomas. Jane Headley's 140 laps down. That's the car that's parked over there on the top side of turn 4. But Will Tattershell is 5 seconds behind. He has lost some ground to Derek Wilson.
And Wilson is up front, but like you said, Tattershell is on the move. He's still got a few laps that if he can get up and start to challenge, I don't know what's left on tires for Wilson, or if Tattershell has left enough that he can make the pass. He's got traffic that Wilson is going through as we speak.
There will be 6 laps left after Derek Wilson passes underneath the start-finish line. And the gap now, with 6 to go, down to 4 seconds. So cut another second off.
Tattershell looks to the inside. He's going to cut it on the short side over in turn 2. Almost took out a tire, but has found his lane to go with 5 to go this time.
May have to just cut it even closer, go inside the big white tires, get on the grass, cut off about half the track if he wants to have a shot. And now Alex Thomas is back out. So he was not in the pits long.
No, and he's still in 4th.
Yep. He had a big enough cushion. He lost 5 laps, and that's what we've seen is if you go to the pits, you lose about 5 laps. That's what happened to Kevin Perkins whenever he went in.
Yeah. Well, now if you're going to go in, there's no use coming back out with 4 to go this time.
And Alex Thomas is somewhat on rails. He's turning some pretty good lap times right now.
He knows he's getting to the end, and he's turning it on. He has been saving it all this time.
Yeah. He's still got to get a top 5 even after going into the pits. But a tough break for him.
Now, Wilson has traffic, and Tattershell does not. We'll see if he can make that as he goes through.
Yeah, how about that move to get around
Wow.
lap traffic? Derek Wilson darted to the inside, and no lap traffic anymore. Winding down, only 2 laps remaining.
White this time.
Do we need to wake Mike up? Oh, no, he knows.
Yep.
White flag's in the air. One more time around for Derek Wilson. 4.6 second advantage. All he has to do is not blow up.
Speaking of which, Thomas with a smoke trail behind his car. Or no, I checked that. That is 55.
One more time around. Now it's a half a lap. Now it's a quarter of a lap. Now it's half a straightaway. Derek Wilson will survive 150 laps, and he will win over Will Tattershell